The National Institute of Health reported in their Winter 2011 WIN newsletter that 1 in 3 children in our nation are obese. We currently hold the largest percentage of childhood obesity statistics worldwide. We've been battling the bulge for the past 40 years. The truth is on any website, any TV show, any newspaper article or magazine publication that has the subject matter of childhood obesity. I'm going to be reviewing with you today just some of the history regarding childhood obesity, the health risks associated with being an obese child, and just a few of the intervention and prevention programs that our country has in place. Let's take a look at the history of childhood obesity first. In the 1970s, our childhood obesity statistics began to grow, and grow, and grow, and they still are increasing in size today. According to a report published by the United States Census Bureau, their population division, it is estimated that our nation has over 24 million overweight or obese children. Now, our history is packed full with information regarding obesity and health. As far back as the medieval times, Europeans actually viewed obesity as an esteemed body image. Many families who were wealthy or had important stature within a community were often viewed as obese. Doctors at that time actually suggested that obesity would fend off any illness or disease. We now know that this information is simply not true, although there are still cultures worldwide that view this perception to be true. Now that we've talked about some history of childhood obesity, let's talk about some of the health complications and risk factors associated with childhood obesity. Diabetes, heart disease, hypertension or high blood pressure, and various cancers are all risk factors associated with childhood obesity. In an article titled "Why Obesity is a Health Problem," published by the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, states that these are just a few of the health risks associated with childhood obesity. A child is considered overweight or obese if they have a body mass index or BMI of 85% or higher. The Center for Disease Control states that the formula used to calculate general BMI is a child's height and weight, but oftentimes there are other factors considered as well, such as the child's age, physical activity, their gender, and even their family history. Additional information regarding calculating BMI can be found on the Center for Disease Control's website at www.cdc.gov. Schools are even getting involved when it comes to prevention and identifying risk factors with childhood obesity. Oftentimes, children are pulled out of the classroom several times throughout the year for the school nurse to calculate the child's BMI. This information is then reported nationally for statistics to be generated. This information is also shared with parents and guardians to be further passed along to the child's primary care provider or pediatrician. Now that we've talked about some of the health factors regarding childhood obesity, let's take a look at some of our national community outreach programs regarding prevention and intervention. Michelle Obama is spearheading a national campaign called Let's Move. The objective is to reduce childhood obesity as a whole. There are 4 main goals with this program. The first one being healthy choices. Next, healthier schools. I think we would all agree that the choices that are being offered to our kids in the lunch line could definitely be improved upon. Next is physical activity. Even the NFL is getting involved in this. Play 60 is their catchphrase. This suggests that families should incorporate 60 minutes of physical activity in their routine each and every day. Lastly, affordable access to healthy foods. Eating organically and eating healthy are often considered as costly and very expensive. Michelle Obama hopes to reduce the national childhood obesity percentage to just 5% by the year 2030. We can. Ways to enhance children's activity and nutrition. another community outreach program to identify resources and solutions to this growing epidemic called childhood obesity. We Can is a tag team approach with community members and national organizations such as the National Institute of Health, or NIH, National Cancer Institute, and National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, all of which's primary goal is to promote our nation's health and wellness. The NIH currently hosts a website that is used as a resource for individuals, families, communities, and even healthcare providers to increase awareness, reduce risk factors, and to improve our nation's health statistics regarding childhood obesity. Now that we've talked about just a few of the intervention and prevention programs in place, let's take a couple minutes to review the important factors regarding childhood obesity. At the initiation of the program Let's Move, Michelle Obama was quoted as saying, "The physical and emotional health of our generation and our economic health and securities as a nation are at stake." This isn't the type of problem that can be solved overnight, but when working together, it can be solved. So let's move. Today we talked about the history of childhood obesity, the risks associated with children who are obese, and just some of the organizations, prevention, and interventions involved in order to reduce the number of childhood obesity statistics. These programs challenge us as individuals, as families, as communities, as a nation, as a global unit to invest in our children and our future.